Oke, sudah ke YouTube Event Cerdas. Satu menit standby. Oke, Mak, jam 3 ya.
Ya, oke. Aku masukin peserta ya.
Ya.
Baik, selamat siang Bapak, Ibu, dan rekan sekalian. Perkenalkan, saya Nurma, MC dalam kegiatan webinar kali ini. Kita masih menunggu peserta yang lainnya yang akan hadir bersama kita. Mohon bersabar dahulu. Pastikan audio Anda dalam posisi mute. Acara akan kita mulai 5 menit.
Monitor, your IT monitoring solution delivered as a service. As a sysadmin, you have a lot of devices, services, and applications, which mean more things that you have to keep an eye on to make sure everything is working. To prevent downtime, nervous users, an angry boss, or even financial loss for your company, what if there was a powerful and secure cloud-based monitoring solution that let you focus on what really matters from anywhere? Now, maybe you already know Paessler. And if you do, you know that there are two things we are passionate about: comprehensive monitoring and making the lives of IT professionals easier. So how does this passion help you when you are in need of a cloud-based monitoring solution? Let's take a look at Paessler Prtg hosted monitor. You simply focus on your infrastructure and leave the hosting to us. Prtg hosted monitor can monitor all your publicly reachable devices and, with the easy installation of a remote probe in your environment, expand its capabilities to provide you a comprehensive overview of your entire network, services, and applications. It sends you notifications directly to your phone, and there's also an Android and iOS app. Installation and initial configuration? It's a matter of only a few minutes, and since it's hosted in the cloud, you don't need to order new hardware for it. In fact, you don't even have to be in the office for it. You can start monitoring from your browser right away. The auto discovery with hundreds of ready-to-use pre-configured sensors helps you to get started really quickly and easily. To visualize your monitoring data, you can create your own dashboards with the most important information and share them with your users or your management within your network and outside of it. Prtg hosted monitor is an agentless, all-in-one monitoring application. It uses standard protocols like ICMP, SNMP, WMI, secure HTTP, or OPC UA to gather data. Features like remote site monitoring with encrypted connections or bandwidth monitoring with flow protocols are already included without additional plugins or add-ons. With the flexible plans, you only pay for what you need. You can raise or reduce the number of sensors you pay for every month or cancel the whole subscription anytime. There is no initial investment and no long-term contract. And if you have trouble, the support in your time zone will help you. Not only can you monitor your IT networks, but also your industrial IT, healthcare, smart city, or other verticals. Hundreds of thousands of sysadmins all over the world use and love Paessler Prtg, the intuitive monitoring tool that is really easy to use and doesn't require deep scripting knowledge. So why don't you give it a try and sign up for an instant 10-day free trial and see how our passion can help make your life easier. Paessler Prtg hosted monitor. IT monitoring in the cloud.
Baik, Bapak Ibu, kita akan mulai webinar hari ini. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih kehadirannya dalam webinar Prtg Hosted Monitoring Accelerated Digital Transformation. Jika ada pertanyaan, dapat disampaikan dalam kolom chat dan nanti akan kita bahas dalam sesi Q&A. Dapatkan door prize berupa voucher OPPO senilai Rp100.000 untuk 3 orang terpilih. Webinar ini didukung oleh Aptiknas, Asosiasi Pengusaha Teknologi Informasi dan Komunikasi Nasional, Event Cerdas, One Stop Digital Transformation e-Service, dan media partner biscom.web.id, portal IT, dan media. Sebelum kita masuk dalam sesi pembahasan, kita akan mendengarkan sharing presentasi company profile dari Mbak Poppy Aurora, selaku account partner dari PT 521 Teknologi Indonesia. Silakan Mbak Poppy.
Ya, terima kasih Mbak Nurma untuk kesempatannya. Selamat sore Bapak, Ibu, dan rekan-rekan sekalian. Izinkan saya Poppy Aurora menyampaikan sedikit terkait company profile kami. Semenjak tahun 2005, para founder perusahaan kami telah terlibat dalam berbagai produk monitoring system. Dan semenjak tahun 2009 sudah menangani produk dari Paessler Prtg Network Monitoring. Dan akhirnya di tahun 2022 mendirikan perusahaan yaitu PT 521 Teknologi Indonesia. Di sini kami menggunakan marketing strategi di mana dari segi harga kami sangat terbuka sehingga mudah dipahami oleh customer maupun partner. Kemudian fokus kami di sini adalah melakukan promosi di mana talenta menjadi fokus utama kami agar semakin banyak orang dapat menggunakan produk Prtg. Dan ini adalah tim kami selaku direktur yaitu Pak Fanky dan saya sendiri sebagai account partnership dan ada Mas Roni sebagai tim support yang hari ini tidak bisa join bersama kita ya. Dan dalam melakukan kegiatan ini kami itu banyak melakukan edukasi agar tujuan kami banyak partner yang terlibat dan mendapat keuntungan. Di sini kami juga akan membantu dalam proses order license dalam hitungan jam. Dan Bapak Ibu dapat menghubungi kami di nomor 021 5290 5299 dan di email kami di partner@521indonesia.com. Dan bisa juga kunjungi website resmi kami untuk kegiatan-kegiatan lainnya di www.521indonesia.com dan sosial media kami di @521indonesia. Ya, saya kembalikan ke Mbak Nurma. Silakan Mbak Nurma.
Oke, terima kasih Mbak Poppy atas sharing presentasinya. Di sini sudah ada Bapak Fanky selaku Direktur PT 521 Teknologi Indonesia yang akan menjadi moderator dalam webinar hari ini. Dan untuk narasumber kita hari ini akan disampaikan oleh Mr. RNT selaku Presales Engineer Asia Pasifik dari Paessler. Untuk waktu dan layarnya saya persilakan.
Baik, terima kasih Mbak Nurma. Selamat siang rekan-rekan sekalian. Selamat datang kembali di dalam kegiatan webinar rutin kita yang masih merupakan bagian dari rangkaian pembahasan terkait dengan digital transformation ya sepanjang bulan Agustus ya di tahun 2022 ini. Nah, yang menarik memang kali ini kita akan mencoba membahas langsung beberapa solusi ya karena solusi ini juga kami yakini merupakan salah satu cara bagi banyak perusahaan untuk bisa melakukan transformasi digital dengan lebih cepat dan lebih baik. Nah, salah satu solusi yang akan kita bawa dalam kesempatan siang kali ini adalah solusi dari Paessler ya. Mungkin teman-teman yang sering mengikuti kegiatan kami banyak sekali kita bicara tentang implementasi penggunaan dan bagaimana Paessler bisa membantu banyak perusahaan. Nah, yang menarik kita akan coba bahas yang agak berbeda meskipun seingat saya pernah kita bahas sebelumnya ya di bulan Februari kalau nggak salah itu terkait dengan Prtg Hosted Monitor. Nah, salah satu yang menjadi hal penting dalam transformasi digital adalah penerapan ataupun penggunaan teknologi berbasis cloud. Nah, Prtg Hosted Monitor ini adalah salah satu solusi untuk perusahaan, Bapak Ibu rekan-rekan sekalian, apabila ingin mengimplementasi sistem monitoring dengan berbasis cloud ya, dengan cara yang mudah ya. Biasanya kalau cloud menawarkannya cara yang mudah, pembayarannya mudah, penggunaannya mudah ya. Nah, nanti in details kita akan dengar langsung dari narasumbernya. Nanti narasumber kita dalam kesempatan siang kali ini adalah Aaron Tay from Presales Engineer Asia Pacific from Paessler ya. Ya, jadi dalam kesempatan ini silakan materinya nanti disampaikan dalam bahasa Inggris. Teman-teman yang mau mengikuti bisa mengaktifkan translation untuk bisa mendapatkan update ataupun translationnya secara langsung dari Zoom ya. Okay, I would like to introduce Aaron Tay, the Presales Engineer Asia Pacific from Paessler. Thank you, Aaron, for your time. Yeah, I know you are busy, but you are able to join this webinar today. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Aaron will share more detail about how the Prtg hosted monitor accelerate the digital transformation. Aaron, the screen is yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Pak Fanky, for the introduction. All right. So thank you, Aaron, for joining today. I really thank you as well, PT 521, to have this privilege for me to join this webinar as well. All right. So let's start for the agenda today. So today our topic is about Prtg hosted monitor accelerate digital transformation. All right. So before we talk about digital transformation, what does it mean actually? So based on Wikipedia, this is what they say based on what this digital transformation is. It is an adoption of digital technology by an organization. Why they want to do that? All right. The common goals are actually for the implementations to improve their efficiency, values, or even innovations. All right. So we'll talk about this today. So let me just run through the agenda for today. This is a very brief overview of what we are going through today. All right. First, before we start, let us just talk about my company, Paessler. So Paessler, we have more than 350 employees from more than 25 countries. So company of all sizes and industry do use Prtg. Even in Indonesia as well, we have also a large customer base who are using Prtg as well. So 70% of the Fortune 100 companies worldwide do use Prtg. So we are really what you call the monitoring experts. So we are founded in the year of 1997 by our founder, the Paessler, who is still alive today. So we do have more than 25 years in the monitoring field. And then for how about the Paessler of the APAC region? So our Paessler APAC office is located in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So all our customer-facing departments are located in Malaysia as well. We do have the sales, the customer service, technical service, which included myself as a pre-sales, and also technical support. We do have also located in Kuala Lumpur as well. So we are able to have a diverse group. We will be able to speak English, Mandarin, Cantonese, more of Bahasa Melayu, a little bit of Bahasa Indonesia, I still can understand. All right. So with such a close proximity to Indonesia, this is really a big advantage actually in terms of time zone, the culture, the SLA. We are very closely knit together so we can understand each other even better. And of course, we do have our very capable distributor, PT 521, is in Indonesia able to assist you whether you have issues with commercial or technical. They're also able to assist you as well. All right. So let's going through a bit of some of the Prtg features. How does it help your digital transformations in your company or even to your customers? First of all, Prtg is what we call a comprehensive, unified monitoring for your whole IT infrastructure. And with this Prtg hosted monitor, you can host it in the cloud. Maybe you're familiar with one of our product. Our flagship product is Prtg Network Monitor, which you have the perpetual license. You can install in your own servers and stuff like that. But this Prtg hosted monitor, you'll be able to host in the cloud. this hosting will be done by Prtg ourselves in the AWS. All right. So as this is very important to have tools that are able to help you to monitor your whole IT infrastructure. All right. Imagine as your business grew, you have more and more assets you like to monitor. You will need a tool to have this openness to let you monitor not just only one or two brands, but various type of devices using different type of protocols. They need to be vendor agnostics to be able to do that. So this is a very vital to enable you to monitor as a centerpiece to able to see where is the issue coming from. All right, especially you're going into digital transformation, you have so many devices, and maybe even industrial as well. We have Industry 4.0, we have so many IoT and stuff like that. You need a tool to be able to help you with that. All right. These are some of the main features of Prtg. The main one I would say is the distributed monitoring. All right. So this distributed monitoring enable you to support as a hybrid IT. For example, if you are going as a corporate, moving to that directions, maybe you're not fully on the cloud right now, you're doing on the hybrid, I would say. This will be vital. Using Prtg hosted monitor, you have the hosting in the cloud. You can help you to monitor devices that are publicly available right now or services that are available via internet straight. But of course, maybe you still have your own branches you need to take care. They have assets there you need to monitor. Then you can use this distributed monitoring, which you can install the remote probe at that site. All right. And also another good part about this Prtg hosted monitor is it is a subscription-based model. So this will enable you to scale your usage actually. So maybe you start off small. Then as your company grew bigger, you have more things you need to monitor, then you can scale it up quite easily within a few clicks. All right. And of course, there are some features is still also the same in the Prtg hosted monitor, these cloud solutions as compared to our network monitor. It is still very easy to use, very easy to configure, and we still have the auto discovery function as well, especially for if you have installed remote probe or some of the publicly available, you can put it in the device, then you can do a bit of discovery as well. Of course, the alerting will still be the same. You do have email, SMS, logging, or maybe you want to do push notifications as well via the mobile apps, you'll be able to do that. And finally, this one will help your IT admin a lot, is data publishing using a real-time dashboard maps. So you would like to free up a bit of your IT admin to be able to not to dig one by one, maybe just a dashboard map of overview. Maybe when they first come into work, then they'll see a dashboard. Everything is green. Then they can focus on other tasks. Or maybe there's red, they can focus. There's something they have to work on during the day itself. This will really free up a bit of your IT admin time to let them focus on what is important, maybe to help your company to grow even better. All right. How do you want to visualize Prtg hosted monitor? Similar like our network monitor, you have 3 different methods. First, you can use the web interface. So you have a URL, a specific URL for yourself, for the hosted monitor, for you to log in. Second, you can use the desktop app. You can install in your PC, then you can link it to your hosting. Third one, you can use the mobile app as well. So this mobile app will be useful if you need to monitor on the go. If you're moving everywhere, you need on the go, mobile apps really is helpful for you. Let's say if you have any alarms and stuff like that, you can enable the push notifications of your mobile app. Then you'll know, there's an alarm right now. I need to focus on this. There's something critical, I need to have a look. All right. Then how does this architecture work on this PPHM as compared to our Prtg network monitor that maybe some of you are already quite familiar with? So this is how our Prtg hosted monitor architecture would look like. If on the middle part, if you can see the hosted server, it will be hosted by Prtg. So it will be hosting in the AWS. So currently we have 5 different locations, which I can share you later on. And with this hosting, you can, like I said earlier, you can directly monitor on service and websites, those are publicly reachable straight. And also, maybe you have different branches. Let's say one is located in Jakarta, one in Surabaya, one in Bandung, for example. You can install the remote probe for these different branches. Then you can collect the details using this remote probe and send it back to this hosted Prtg server. So maybe you have your firewall, your switches, your routers, all this can be collected back. So this is very, very vital for your digital transformations, because you want to make your life as an organization, everything much more streamlined, much more easier. So your IT team right now, if with this hosting, they would not need to worry about all the maintenance of the hardware, for example, or the updates of the Prtg server, updates of the Windows, all these kind of things. But all this will be done by Prtg. So what you need to do is let your IT team just focus on what they like to monitor, what they need to see more, without all this maintenance that need to worry about. All right. And with this hybrid environment, you can monitor both those things on cloud and also on premise all together. If this gives you this flexibility. All right. Of course, in terms of a bit more business perspective, it will definitely help you to increase your productivity, because your IT team can really focus what is important. And also you can reduce the downtime, because all these things, they can get notification quite easily. So this Prtg hosted monitor can be a piece of your whole puzzle of your journey of this digital transformation. Okay, like I said just now, where is this hosting located in when I'm using AWS? All right, currently we have total of 5 locations, and the nearest to Indonesia currently is in Singapore. All right, so at least we have a better latency going back to Indonesia right now. So this will be a very, very useful to use this Prtg hosted monitor. With that latency, you'll be able to monitor everything much more smoother as well. Of course, you also can choose which location you want to be. Maybe the latency going to Sydney is a bit better. You can choose that location as well. All right. Let's have a first look at Prtg. So for those who are familiar with Prtg Network Monitor, do not worry. Most of the features will be exactly the same in the Prtg hosted monitor. You have the hosting in the cloud, but a lot of all the features within Prtg will be the same. So for the learning curve and everything will not be very steep. So it's very easy for you to start and use it straight. First of all, let's have a look at this device tree. All right, this is very vital in Prtg. Why do I say so? Because this is hierarchy in order from top to bottom approach. Because all these settings are inherited along this hierarchy. So, and this inheritance can be overridden at any point. What does this mean? Okay, let's say in your remote branch, you have a lot of servers. Let's say you have 20 servers, for example. Then you would not need to put in the credentials one by one of the servers. All right, all of these servers can inherit from the group on top. And of course, if there's some of the servers might use a bit different credentials, you need to change a bit, you can override it anytime. Let's say IBM is using a different credential, you can override it and just only use for the IBM. So this is the whole point of the device tree. On the settings, it really helps you to do a lot of work much more easier. And maybe some of you are not so familiar with Prtg. Then you think, how do you calculate how the license is and stuff like that? So Prtg, we are calculated by sensors. So what is a sensor? A sensor is one aspect of one device. If you see everything down here, everything green is considered as one sensor. Maybe pink can be one sensor. CPU processors is considered one sensor. All right. And the beauty of this is within the sensor itself, we have different sensor channels. Doesn't mean one sensor just only consider monitor as one thing, but we have multiple channels or matrix inside. Let's look on your left-hand side. You see on the ping sensor, you can monitor on the ping time. You have the maximum, minimum, and even packet loss. You have 4 different channels within the same sensor. And let's look at the right-hand side right now on the Dell System Health Sensors. Yes, the sensor is to monitor the system health, the global system status, whether it's running fine or there's issue. But within itself, there's so many different metrics and channels, right? You have, let's say, power supply status. You have processor status, cooling device, battery. You have more than 10 here. Matrix, all this inside within also still considered as just one sensor. All right. And these are different of each sensor. They have their own states to tell you what is it wrong and stuff like that. So this is just to give you information. This is what status that we have. Some of it, I would say it's quite self-explanatory. Like green is up, red is down. Those are quite self-explanatory in all these sensor states. And within Prtg, we have more than 300 predefined sensor types, what we call native sensors. We do have bandwidth, web server, SNMP, WMI. Let's say you have Cisco device, you have the native sensors for it. And of course, we also give you the flexibility to be able to define different type of sensors. Let's say you have a MIB file of a devices, you can load into this Prtg hosted as well to be able to let you to monitor in greater detail, right? And this also Prtg, this is what we can monitor within Prtg. You can have firewall, maybe you want to monitor on VPN, bandwidth, server health, and even IoT as well, using some of the protocols that we have currently that you'll be able to monitor them, right? And also we do have a lot of notifications you can use to be able to inform you if there's any issues or anything like that. Because this is very, very vital in terms of your digital transformation. You want to be informed if there's any issue happens. You do not want someone report just to wait whether there's anything happening and someone report something cannot access, there's something is not working, then you would need to take reactive actions. But with this notification, you can take the proactive actions. I get the alarms, there's something I need to check. So they can reduce the downtime and also have a better user experience, I would say. All right. So everyone, also with this user experience better, everyone can work better together, more efficiently and effectively. All right. We do have reporting as well in the hosted, similar to the Prtg network monitor as well. So if you want to generate some custom reports, you'll be able to do that still. And these functions, I could not emphasize enough, this Prtg Dashboard Map, right? This is, I would think, it's something very useful. Maybe some of you have used already currently, then that's very good. Maybe some of you have never tried to use this function before. I would advise to have a look, this dashboard map. This is to make your IT team life a bit more easier, all right? Because this dashboard map, we do not log how you look at it. How does it looks like, how you want to build it. We give you this flexibility to build maps that make sense to you, make sense to your company. You can change whatever different devices or sensors, everything within the map as well. We build a map that makes sense to you so that because at the end of the day, you guys are the ones who's going to see this map every day. All right. So with this map, you really help your IT admin to be able to focus, to see where is going on, what is going wrong in a high level overview quickly. Maybe these tools, this map, when you come into work, like I said earlier, come into work, see, everything is green, everything is fine. Then they can focus on other works. All right. With this map, you can also determine the level of details. So maybe different user groups, different administrators have a different view. Or maybe you have, as an IT manager, you do not want to dive in very, very detailed, just something very high level overview. You can build maps like this as well. So each of these maps, you can have a unique URL for it. And this is another example of the map. Just now that one, if you see earlier, it gives you a very high level overview. If you want to see something, you can build something as complex as this as well, as your dashboard map. All right. So this really enable your IT to focus on things that is important, really save times and really increase their productivity. All right. Just let them focus on monitoring using a dashboard will be much more easier. And using this Prtg hosted monitor, we provide you even a better benefits. It's because the IT admin do not need to worry about their servers, whether have done patching to my Windows servers, whether I've done updates to my Prtg, but they just only focus on your own infrastructure that you have, whether it's in cloud or whether it's on-premise, and leave the hosting to us. Prtg will help you. We'll help you to do your update of your Prtg and all this Windows, everything running in the background, just leave it to us. You just focus on what let your IT admin focus what you're good at. All right. With this, let them focus. You can really improve your service to your customers, I would say. All right. Whoever is using the service, let them focus on that. And how does this Prtg hosted monitor licensing look like? All right. So this is a subscription base, like I said earlier. So you can scale as you grow, pay as you go. So maybe you can start off small first, but then after that you want to scale bigger, you can do that as well. It's very, very easy. We have a platform for you to able to click. Later, I'll show you a bit more as well. You can just only, let's say I don't have enough. You can just upgrade very similar, very easy. All right. So next, let me just go through a bit of the live demo to let you have a view. How does Prtg hosted monitor looks like? All right. Maybe some of you are familiar with the Prtg network monitor. You make your life easy because it is quite similar. All right. So this is our Prtg hosted monitor. Maybe as a first glance, first look, you think, aha, it looks just like my Prtg network monitor, isn't it? But there's a trick. There's a few differences within inside. Let me just show you. Okay. First one, if you see on the setup, right? System administration. If you're using the hosted monitor, you can see you have this managed subscription. This will not have within your Prtg network monitor. All right. And also maybe you see some of the functions is gone. Where's my license and stuff like that? You do not have in this Prtg hosted monitor. Right. Next. Within Prtg hosted monitor, these cloud solutions, you have what we call this hosted probe instead of your local probe. All right. Because this hosted probe will be able to help you to monitor things that are publicly available straight. Let's say, for example, you want to monitor some websites. You can monitor it straight. Or maybe you have some cloud hosted resources, like for example, you have AWS or anything. Then you can monitor it also publicly available. All right. And of course, maybe you have a hybrid IT currently. You're just only on the steps, slowly moving into this digital transformation. You're still using a hybrid. Then you can install what we call the remote probe, which is this one. Currently, what I name it as a data center probe. So you can monitor things that is on-premise. All right. And so if you can see what we can monitor, it's still similar. You can monitor, let's say, on your networking, you have different type of switches. We are still vendor agnostic. It's still the same. You can monitor your switches, your firewalls, your routers. Maybe you have database. Some of you want to monitor. You have your NAS, your UPS, your physical servers. All these things you are still able to monitor within this Prtg hosted monitor. You still have the same thing. You have the mapping functions, you have the reporting functions. Everything is still the same with the Prtg hosted monitor. All right. A bit of difference is we have another portal for you. Let me just show you as well, right? To manage all your subscription. Let's say you are using Prtg hosted right now. You even can start a trial, like earlier the video that I showed, can start a trial, right? Let's say you want to do a bit of subscription, right? I already log in, then you add a new subscription, all right? Then you need a specific URL. You can create your own subdomain. You can name it whatever you want, but of course it cannot be the same if some of the people have already created for sure, right? And then this is the important one. You can select your region, like I said earlier. You have regions from Europe, US, East, West, Asia Pacific, currently with Singapore and Sydney. And like I said, the closest one will be located in Singapore for better latency. And then you also can try a free trial for 10 days. And then after that, the paid plans, everything down there, you can have a look as well. All right. Then you have all the invoices. And also this one is a new function, what we call upload. If you have a subscription, you can upload your MIB file inside as well, if you would like to. All right. So this is approximately how Prtg hosted looks like. Okay. So it's not something rocket science, but it does really make your life easier as an IT admin with this hosting. You don't need to worry about, because do understand that currently the whole world are facing some chip shortages and stuff like that. Prtg hosted monitor can really also help you in that sense, I would say, to able to start monitoring using this hosting in the AWS. All right. Maybe anyone got any questions or anything like that? Maybe Fanky.
Yeah. I think we already collecting some question, yeah.
Great.
Okay, let's see. Let's see first.
Okay, I think I have a questions.
Yeah. Let me collect it first.
Sure, no problem.
Oke, jadi Bapak Ibu rekan-rekan, jadi kalau ada yang mau tanya silakan masukin di chat ya. Nanti kita bahas. Oke, I think Pak Nanang first lah. I think Pak Nanang asking so many questions nih. Okay, how does Prtg store its data? I think we talk about the Prtg hosted monitoring this time, yeah. How does the Prtg hosted monitor store its data? How it can be monitored, the net flow or the net flow, IP flow, H flow, G flow sensor. I think that two first.
Okay, so for first one on the data, all right, so you do not need to worry about it. So all these things, the hosting, that's why the hosting will be done by Prtg. But of course, the maximum amount of storage is just only for 1 year. For the host, correct.
Yeah.
For the hosted monitor, maximum is 1 year. It's not like your notebook monitor. You can set it, depends on your hard disk size, but hosted monitor, it's fixed 1 year. All right. And for the S flow, net flow, all this, all right, if you need to monitor on your branches, do it on the remote probe. You will still be able to use those sensors, but you need to use a remote probe. Let's say you have routers and stuff like that. Install the S flow sensor, net flow sensor, everything on the remote probe.
So we install the remote probe first.
Correct.
And then we set up the flow protocol to that, yeah?
Correct.
Okay, back to the number one question, the maximum 1 year. But if they continue the service, so it's still there, right? The database, the storage.
The storage should be still there, but if you overwrite, let's say you have after 1 year, you're using the second year, you slowly overwrite all the old one. That's how it
jadi
works.
storage-nya 1 tahun, kemudian nanti setelah itu di overwrite ya.
Yep.
Okay, next question. Okay, I think there are some question also related to other person ya, but okay, next to Pak Muhammad Nazar Agliono. How can local network can be probed by hosted Prtg server? Is it using VPN or is there any agent that must be installed on every device that we will monitor?
Okay, for that one, the remote probe is not an agent. So you just only need to install, we have a system requirement of the remote probe you can install in your network. Maybe it's just a server or it's a PC on a Windows base, you can install it. Make sure they have internet, then they can connect back to the hosted. All right, maybe I'll show you very, very quickly how you can do that. All right, let me share my screen back real quick. All right, so let's say you have this hosting right now. You go to your servers, maybe at your branch, and you can open up the page of this Prtg hosted monitor. You can go to optional download, this remote probe installer. You can directly install the remote probe. All right. Of course, you need to have the port. There are certain ports need to be opened. Later on, we can share you the whole manual how you can do that as well. All right.
Yeah, I think there are also some requirement that need to for the remote prop, yeah?
Correct.
Okay, let me see again the question. Okay, from Pak Lutfi Rinanto, is it possible to use the monitoring incoming on outgoing traffic security? I think related to the security monitoring traffic.
If you don't mind, Pak Lutfi, can you explain a bit more what do you mean by this outgoing traffic security? Is it you want to see deep dive of the packets, or how does it go? If it's possible for you to elaborate further.
Pak Lutfi ada? Pak Lutfi mau tanya langsung, boleh? Pak Lutfi. Okay, let me move to another question first, ya.
Sure.
From Pak Iqbal Kurniawan. What is the preparation and the strategy and best practice for companies to migrate to Prtg hosted monitor?
Okay, I think where you're coming from is currently you do have using Prtg network monitor. I think so. This is your strategy. I think, correct me if I'm wrong later on. All right.
Yeah.
So if you have your Prtg network monitor, all right, do send in the support bundles with the configuration file to us, to our support team. All right. So we need to study, because not all of them can be migrated straight. All right. So we just send to us. Let us study first. All right. It is possible, but need to see by case, I would say.
So in this case, it means the backup of the configuration, or what?
The configuration is the most important.
But the configuration.
Correct. But do take note that all your historical data will not be able to migrate it there. All right.
The historical data is not able, ya?
Not able to.
Okay.
Correct.
Ya, jadi rekan-rekan itu mesti di note. Jadi kalau teman-teman sudah punya Prtg network monitor, mau pindah ke Prtg hosted monitor, ini perlu dipelajari dulu oleh tim support dari Prtg. Kemudian tentu historical datanya tidak bisa dibawa, ya. Okay. How about the security concern when adopting the Prtg hosted monitor? The security concern, how you secure the Prtg, because it's accessing through the internet, right?
Okay, so for this, that's why we do have several security measures. First one, of course, we are also, because we are hosted in AWS, we are using the EC2. And of course, we do have an authentications platform, which we are using. It's called Authentication 0. All right, so all this will ensure at least your security will be safe. And also do not forget that the other security part that we are still using our own proprietary database still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see another. Is the licensing cost already included the support cost?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So maybe you can reach out also to Peter Limasato if you need any quotation and anything like that. But the price that you are getting is not just on your subscription, but the maintenance altogether.
Yeah. Okay, the next is from Pak Muhammad Nazar. Is Prtg has a plan to host it in Indonesia, maybe in Jakarta, Indonesia Internet Exchange, because it's still hosted in Singapore. Hosted Prtg maybe still has 10 milliseconds for the minimal latency from Singapore to Jakarta. Okay. I think it's depends on the EWS, right? Because it's based on the EWS.
Correct. I think currently also the planning, of course, we do take note of on your feedback on this. I think we will take note of this, but currently we are still more of the Singapore and Sydney for now. If we do see more and more demand, is something I think we will consider. I can also feedback to our development team if there's a requirement and all these kind of things. Of course, if you see there's this needs, do let us know.
Yeah, because what we know that the EAWS also building their data center here. I think once it's ready, it's more easy to move from outside Indonesia to Jakarta region, in EWS, right?
Yeah, I think that would be. But of course, if you have this feedback, just feel free to feedback to us so that we can feedback to our development team together to study this together as well.
Next, Pak Emmanuel Antonius, can we customize the dashboard of the Prtg hosted monitor?
Yes. For this one, if you're currently using Prtg Network Monitor, the function is exactly the same for the map. So do not worry about that.
Yeah. How often, the next question, Pak Nanang again, how often does the Prtg release update for the Prtg hosted monitor?
Okay, so for this, normally what we do is we release it out through the network monitor first. So this is our best practice. Then after that, once it's stable, we see everything is okay, then we will also inform the customers that we are doing update and stuff like that. There'll be a bit of downtime. So typically it will lag behind a bit on the network monitor, but will not be long, maybe just a few weeks, something like that. But first, normally you release to the network monitor first to make sure everything is okay before we roll out to the hosted monitor as well. But they will inform you.
Can we monitor the multiple location with one license of the Prtg, I think hosted monitor, not network monitor?
With the hosted monitor, yes, you can also multiple locations by using the remote probe.
Yeah.
Let's say you have one branch located in Jakarta, one in Surabaya, one in Bandung. Then you can install the remote probe for these different locations, link back to your hosting of the Prtg hosted server.
Last question from Pananang. Can we keep the monitoring configuration while upgrading from the freeware Prtg network monitor to the commercial license such as Prtg hosted monitor?
So if you're using the freeware, this is my suggestions. It's best to start from scratch. This is my suggestions. Unless if you have already commercials, you have a lot of stuff already, then we can study together. If you're using freeware, I would advise you to start from scratch. I think it will be easier that way.
Yeah. So if you already tried the Prtg network monitor and you want to use the Prtg hosted monitor, then you need to reconfigure everything again in the Prtg hosted monitor, right?
Correct.
That's a more easy way, yeah?
Correct.
Okay, Pak Renard, about the notification in Prtg, can you explain what the meaning exe notification is, like the application and how it works?
Okay, the exe notifications. Hold on, let me just open up real quick. So this exe notification is actually maybe you can run certain program. Correct. For example, let's say in a scenario, you are doing some monitoring of your servers and stuff like that. You can write certain scripts to let it run some certain programs. You can do that. That's the idea of these exe notifications. Of course, these scripts, you can write it yourself. For example, I reach a certain threshold and stuff like that. I need to execute a program. You can do that using these exe notifications.
Okay, let me share our experience using this ya. Bapak Ibu rekan-rekan, exe file-nya menjalankan siren file. So once there's a problem, the exe file executed, the exe file running the siren sound file. Yeah, so basically when something wrong, we play the siren WAV file. So it's more easy. It's just a sample of the implementation of the exe file notification. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very good example, Fanky. I think someone need capture attention.
No. At that time, actually, Aaron, the company want us to also connect it to the serial port to play the siren, not only the sound. That's a very interesting case. Okay, the next. Pak Nazar again. Is there any limitation of the bandwidth to the hosted Prtg, and how speed of it in case we will use the net flow for analyzing our local traffic? Is there any issue for this case? Because using net flow will increase the traffic, especially when hosted in Singapore.
Okay, so for this, that's why it's important to use the remote probe, because the remote probe is the one who collect everything. Then after that, of course, then it will send back to a hosting server. That's why we do not do a lot of net flow using a hosting, but on the remote probe. That's the whole idea. At least a lot of the loads are done by the remote probe already.
Yeah. But actually, even you're using the remote probe, the remote probe will send some data also to the Prtg hosted, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, next. Let me see ya. Okay, how about the preparation that Pak Sugianto? What is the preparation that we need to prepare to migrate from the on-premise to the cloud and to distribute it, monitoring using the Prtg hosted monitor, especially if they are already used the SaaS cloud service, but not from AWS. What is the best practice?
I think for that one, like I said earlier, do send it to our to our support team to have a look. This is why, because we need to study together, because maybe you do a lot of like customs sensors or this kind of thing. This is something we need to consider.
Yeah.
So when you have this request, for example, I have this wish to move from Prtg Network Monitor to a hosted monitor, send to our team, let them know this is something I would like to consider. Do send in the support bundle with the configuration file together so that we can study and have a look.
Yeah. Okay, Pak Emmanuel, can we customize the dashboard based on the authentication login policy so admin and guest can have a different dashboard?
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Correct.
How many account can access the Prtg dashboard at the same time?
So at the same time, if you want to log into Prtg, I would advise not more than 30 users at the same time.
30 users
at the same time. If you, for example, and someone do report and stuff like active. So of course, if you want to create a lot of users inside there, that will be still fine.
Yes. Okay. Pak Bambang Supriyadi, Prtg can give alert to other applications such as WhatsApp or other application. I think Telegram, yes, yeah.
Correct.
WhatsApp, you need to use the service, yeah, Aaron?
Correct. Currently, we do not have the so-called native for WhatsApp. So Telegram, we do have that. Or maybe if you're using Microsoft Teams, if you use very often, we do have that as well.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, even we are using the Prtg hosted monitor, the access user account is only for the us as a customer, right?
Yes,
Aaron?
correct.
Yeah. Okay, I think I already wrap up all the question. Let me see again. Do I miss something?
Sure.
Yeah, I think they are done. Let me see. Okay, the license is already clear. Aaron, I think you already shared the information about the licensing model.
Yeah.
And if we want to use the service, we just provide if needed, you can provide the server or the PC as a remote prop, right?
Correct.
Install the remote prop in local, so the traffic from the routers and everything will be captured first by the remote prop and pushed to the Prtg hosted ya in the cloud.
Correct.
Oke, Bapak Ibu rekan-rekan silakan ada yang mau bertanya secara langsung. Oh Pak Bambang, ya nggak bisa di WA nih Pak saat ini. Currently we don't really have the alert in the WhatsApp. If you do have Pak Bambang, I think if you need to more detail about how we can alert on the WhatsApp, you need to work with the WhatsApp business partner, so you can push the alert to the through the WhatsApp business partner API. Yeah, I think that's one of the case ya. Tapi yang banyak diimplementasi juga selain email adalah melalui Telegram, Pak Bambang. Jadi itu juga cukup banyak yang menggunakan Telegram. I think the questions already all, Aaron. I will pass again to Nurma first for the photo session, and then I will get back to you for the closing remark.
Nurma. Sure, no problem.
Oke. Baik Bapak Ibu, terima kasih atas pertanyaan yang sudah masuk, semuanya bagus-bagus. Sebelum saya mengumumkan 3 orang terpilih pemenang Putra Oppo, kita akan foto bersama-sama terlebih dahulu. Mohon untuk dapat menyalakan kameranya. Silakan untuk menyalakan kameranya.
Silakan nyalakan kamera semua. Sudah semua belum?
Oke, saya hitung sampai 3, 1, 2, 3, sebentar.
Wah, Pak Immanuel kameranya rusak katanya.
Sudah, Pak.
Sudah ya, oke. Oke, get back to you, Aaron, the closing remark.
All right. So really, thank you everyone for joining today. Hopefully, able to learn something today a bit different with this hosting. Hopefully, you have considered going in this digital transformations journey. Hopefully, Prtg will be a part of your puzzles moving forward together to help you and your corporate make life a bit easier on this. I really thank you so much, PT 521, to able to have me today to join together with you to do a sharing session together. Really thank you very much for this.
Yeah, again, Aaron, thank you so much for your time, your busy schedule. You also possible to share with us how the Prtg hosted monitor accelerate the digital transformation. And I saw so many questions from the audience. They very interested about the solution, and we hope that we can also support it, the local companies in Indonesia that want to use the Prtg hosted monitor. Jadi Bapak Ibu rekan-rekan, kita masih akan berlanjut Prtg hosted monitor. Silakan nanti bisa hubungi tim kami untuk membantu ya, bisa lewat Poppy atau Mbak Nurma di sini. Silakan kontak ke 521 ya. Pembahasan kita selanjutnya masih akan berlanjut digital transformation. Masih ada 2 hari ini, minggu ini kita cukup full ya. Jadi besok kita akan bicara tentang aset digital transformation, kemudian hari Kamis tentang ITXM. Ya, jadi itu kita akan babat semua di minggu ini ya. Jadi saya tunggu kehadiran rekan-rekan sekalian untuk bisa bertemu lagi besok jam 2, Kamis juga jam 2 ya. Kemudian minggu depan juga ada tanggal 18, tanggal 24 kita ada offline event di Bekasi Junction Hall. Terutama untuk teman-teman manufaktur boleh hadir bersama, kita bikin seminar di sana ya terkait dengan event mini expo namanya Inditex ya. Jadi silakan hadir di sana. Saya kembalikan ke Mbak Nurma untuk menutup. Terima kasih. Silakan Mbak Nurma.
Oke, terima kasih Pak Fanky. Saya akan mengumumkan 3 orang terpilih pemenang voucher Oppo. Yang pertama Pak Mohnazar Agliono, ada Pak Nazar?
Hadir.
Selamat ya Pak.
Terima kasih Bu.
Yang kedua Pak Immanuel Antonius Sohiri. Pak Immanuel.
Ya, hadir.
Selamat ya Pak. Yang terakhir Pak Bambang Supriyadi. Ada Pak Bambang? Pak Bambang.
Ya, hadir.
Selamat ya Pak. Selamat kepada 3 orang terpilih pemenang voucher Oppo. Nanti akan kami hubungi setelah acara ini selesai. Terima kasih Bapak Ibu semuanya atas partisipasinya. Terima kasih Pak Fanky. Thank you Aaron. Sampai bertemu di webinar kami selanjutnya. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam.
Ya, terima kasih semua. Sampai ketemu besok ya. Terima kasih.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you.
Yuk.
Ya, terima kasih semua. Thank you.
Terima kasih Pak Fanky, Mbak Nurma.